Well, that's what we've got so far, and I have to build the rest. I just want to get that in your mind, and I'll show you what I drew up. Here's my existing bench with the plywood extended out into the air. This is 6 feet. These are ends of 2x4s that you can see, and this bench is held up with joists. There's 5 of them on this side, and there's going to be 5 over there, 1 on each end, 2 on each end of end joists, and 5 joists every 11 inches, except the end of my plywood is 2 feet over here. So I'm going to put the end of that plywood in the middle of 2 joists so I can screw into each joist, attaching this sheet and the sheet I cut to put up next to it. Now the whole dimension I need, the opening is 135¼ inches. I have to take away 1 inch for the plywood on each side. That's a 1/2 inch each side. And I'm going to take off a 1/2 inch just to be able to slide it in and out. I'm just going to slide it in and attach it to the wall, but you don't need to make one the exact same size, or you never get it in and out. And you're going to cover that with a little piece of molding on the top anyway. So my deal is I've got to make another bench. Instead of 72 inches long, 61 3/4. I got to make sure that I have double studs at the 24-inch mark, 1 before it and 1 after it, so I can put the 2 pieces of plywood together. The top rail will be 61 3/4 overall. The front rail, this is a 2x4 on the ends, the front rail will be 58 1/4. And these rails, these 5 rails will be 27 inches long. The 2 ends will be 30. These will be 27 because it's 1.5 inches on each end where the rails go on the end. So that's 3 inches from 30. They'd be 27. And then for this left side has a half shelf, so I have plenty of room under here for my legs. You can always put chainsaws and things under there. And this side's going to have a full shelf, but it's not going to come out. This one is halfway. A little over halfway. This one's going to be 6 inches less than all the way. It's just so you can get in and out of the bottom shelf easily and see what's back there. So the bottom shelf will be, the rails will be 58 1/4, be 2 end joists is 28 1/2, because I don't need them cut all the way out past here, because I'm not going to make a full. When we did the first one, I have these sticking out 1.5 inches, which I'm going to cut off. And then the 5 center joists in the top are going to be 21 inches long. And that will make the shelf come out to within 6 inches of the outside of this post. Well, using my newest table to build the extension on this one, it's nice to have a flat surface to work on. All you do is lay your front and rear rails down, drill 3 holes through the wood, put 3 3-inch long screws in there so they come in that deep, because you're screwing into end wood. This screwing into wood like this is very strong. Screwing into the end wood is very weak. So you need to get as long a screw as you can. After you do these 4 corners, you put 1 post in there. You don't have to worry about it being flush because it's sitting on a flat table. Then I put 5 holes through this board. And then I put 5 holes through that board. I haven't done that one yet. And I screw these all 5 in. And 5. So there's 10 on each corner holding the post in. It will not go anywhere. And I find it easier to build a bench like this on the table. Once I put these 5 screws in there, I will turn it over and I will put the rails on the bottom. I'll just mark them where they should be, and I will put them on the bottom, and then I'll run the the rear and forward rails, and then I can just put it on the floor. Might be hard to do today by myself. Here's the storyboard I made to mark all these rails on the first bench I made. And that is the mark I need to have 2 of them where my plywood ends. So I was sitting here looking at that, and and I said, why don't I just bring that over to where it lines up with that, and then all I have to do is put 2 2x4s there, 1 there, 2 there, 1 there, and 1 there, and that's all I gotta do. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've got 5 in the middle down there. Nice thing about a storyboard, I mean, that's about where it would normally be, and if you just move it over and line it up, all you gotta do is split the difference here, use the center, put 2 in there to have your plywood sheets meet, and you'll have 3 more to hold the top on. Looks like a plan. I like to make these upside down, I told you in the last little video I did. And all you have to do is measure from this 2x4 to that 2x4, and I forget what it is, 16.5 inches I believe. And then you just, then you just mark up here 16.5 inches, and you put it on the outside corner all the way around. And then when you come up here, you just attach it when you hold it up to the line. See, and it'll be like that. And this will be flush on the back, and flush on the front, and over on the back. You can use this little T-square to draw that line up, and then if you want to put it across the top, you just bring it out to there and draw the line. And whenever you want to draw a straight line and make it perfect, you need to put the pencil where you want the mark to be, and then bring this up to the pencil and then scribe it, and that makes up for the little bit of wood that's around the pencil point. And that way you get a line straight up and straight over. And of course you pre-drill all these so that the screws will bite into that. We're going into end grain. You have to have at least as much in there as you went through here. It doesn't matter if it goes that long, but you can't have a screw that's so short it just goes in there, because the end grain doesn't hold anything. You go through the grain, you're hitting all these different little years. And when you hit all those years, they bite. When it goes through this way, it goes into 1 year of wood, and it doesn't really bite. So, and see, laying on its top, you don't have to worry where these are, because they'll be flush, because as long as both of these pieces of wood are on that flush table and you push down when you drive that first screw in and then do the other one, you're home free. And all you gotta do is eyeball it.